Burnout happens to everyone, in one way or another. You can get burned out from working, and can fix that by taking good quality breaks. You can get burned out from your daily routine, and can fix that by going on a holiday of some sort. Genshin Impact is no exception, especially during times where a new update or region is on the horizon, and the patches are starting to feel a bit dry. Today we're going to be going over 18 signs of Genshin Impact burnouts, but we'll be going in order of severity. What do I mean by that? Well, burnout has stages to it. It doesn't just hit you all at once. The process of burnout is a gradual build-up of stresses that hasn't been dealt with. This results in the feeling of total burnout, and in this case, not wanting to even look at the game. So we'll be splitting this video into 3 parts: early signs, burning up, and total collapse. Early signs are instances where you start to feel like the game might be becoming a bit of a chore, but you ignore it because it's just a passing feeling. The majority of this video will be talking about signs in this category because it's these smaller signs that end up building up to create the worst stages of burnouts. Burning up signs are when you really do start to feel like the game is becoming a chore, and you start to take action on those feelings. In fact, it's at this stage where people can quit the daily grind and come back in a short amount of time and still feel refreshed to be back. Total collapse signs are a more severe form of the burning up signs. People in this phase are more likely to leave for a substantial amount of time, and I'm talking about months here. Ready? Let's go. One of the earliest signs of Genshin burnout is not knowing what to do next. Maybe you finally got that last artifact for that certain character that you've been farming for a while. Maybe you've finally caught up on the Archon quests. Maybe you've triple crowned your favourite character. Or maybe you've finally got the character that you've been waiting months, or maybe even years for. Either way, once you complete one of your goals, and now that it's done, you don't know what to do next. Despite having so many other characters to build and more side quests to complete, you feel a bit empty inside, because something that you've been working on for so long has finally been completed. There's a difference between procrastinating because you're starting to burn out and procrastinating because you're a lazy Genshin player. No shade. I'm a lazy Genshin player. I've been procrastinating on 100%ing all of my exploration and level 90ing a bunch of characters since I started this game. It's just how I work. However, when you start to procrastinate more and more on things that you didn't used to before, or things that you found genuinely enjoyable before, that's more of a red flag. There's a lot to explore in Genshin Impact. In fact, pretty much every update, Horrorverse always adds something new for players to explore. When Inazuma came out, they kept adding more islands. During Sumeru's time in the spotlight, they kept expanding the deserts. So there's always something new to explore. When you get to the point where you're not even exploring anymore, it means you're pretty much playing Genshin on autopilots, rather than taking in and appreciating the game. If your teapot is level 8 and above, you should ideally be checking into your teapot at least every day or every other day or so for that sweet realm currency. This way, at the start of every week, you have the funds to go and get some extra resin, extra mora, experience books, whatever you need. So when you start to not go into your teapots for weeks or even months on end, you know something's gotta be up. It's here where you start to spend resin, not because you want to, but because it's becoming a habit to. It's just what you do. As a result, you're probably spending your resin on the same couple of artifact domains. You're not feeling as thrilled about any other aspect of the game right now, except for the RNG of artifact farming, because of the possibility of getting a cracked artifact. A cracked artifact for no one in particular, but you just want to see that crit damage go up to the 30s. Because it's one of the only sources of entertainment you're getting from this game right now. Sometimes you'll log into the game and have a brief thought that says something along the lines of, "This is getting a bit repetitive. I think I'm just playing for the sake of playing at this point. Am I burned out? Should I take a break?" But you don't think much about these thoughts. The prospect of primogems and the daily grind still somewhat entices you, but you know that deep down that you're questioning your interest in Genshin during this time. with a different variety of characters brings some life to the daily grind. However, if you find yourself using your most powerful, favourites and overused team because it's convenience, and it'll get stuff done quicker, that's a sign that you're just really playing on autopilot right now. You're logging in for the sake of quick primos and RNG hell at this point. When you enjoy Genshin Impact at the fullest, you'll do any and all events right away, as it's new content. New content may mean new lore or a new game mode, but ultimately, it also means guaranteed Freemo gems. If you wait till the very last hours to do an event, you are fully aware that you won't have any time to fully take in the new lore or to fully enjoy new game modes. You're just playing events because you want the Primogems, and not because you're actually interested in what the event is all about. The Primogems currently have you in a chokehold. Spiral Abyss gives you the chance to get a small handful of primos every few weeks or so. When you're starting to come to a point where primos don't matter and Spiral Abyss feels mundane to you, you know that it's the start of a downward spiral for your Primogem savings. You're starting to realise that capped resin isn't that deep. You're starting to realise that not farming every day isn't that deep. However, you still feel a bit bad about not using your resin, so you condense it to make yourself feel better. The intrusive thought from earlier is starting to manifest into reality because you've missed a day for the first time in a long time. This is big. Not only has the Primogem chokehold really started to let go, but your addiction to the game is starting to fade too, and you've realised that missing a day isn't that deep. In fact, dare I say, it's kind of refreshing. I'm not saying that being critical about Genshin means you're burned out from it. You can love something and still see the faults in it. However, when you're enjoying Genshin Impact, these faults and flaws don't really matter to you, because you're having fun. When you're burned out from it though, those rose-tinted glasses have fallen, and you can see the glaring issues with this game quite clearly, and they do start to bother you. More than they really should. You're not too fussed about the lore or new game styles, but you're still somewhat kind of interested in Primogems. Well, at least you were, because now you're at a point where the events and the things it has to offer don't even cross your minds, and that includes Primogems. You're starting to feel like the daily grind isn't really enjoyable for you anymore, so much so to the point where daily commissions, some of the easiest Primogem snagging things you can do in this entire game, are starting to interest you less. If you're missing dailies, it means that you're starting to not care about Primogems and or wishing for characters at all. Missing dailies is a big sign that the Primogem chokehold is losing its grip on you, simply because you're starting to not care about reruns or new characters right now. Maybe you have everyone you wanted, or maybe you're waiting for a new region to be released, and you know that it's not coming for a while. You don't care at all about resin, or artifacts, or building up characters. You're just so done with doing the same thing every time you log in. And you're doing the same domains every time you log in because you just don't have the mental energy to do anything different. It's like you're a zombie. Well, were. Because you're not farming anymore. You've just forgotten that dailies exist. What used to be something you used to do without fail every day for months on end has become a distant memory, to the point where you either can't be bothered anymore or you've just completely forgotten about them. As a result of everything, you're just not logging in anymore. This doesn't mean that you'll never log back in, but if you've experienced all of the above and you're at this point, you're in need of a dire break, and you'll probably stay logged out for a while. And there you have it. 18 signs that you're burned out from Genshin Impact. Which signs can you relate to? Which stage are you at right now? If you're burned out, let me know down in the comments what ways you're using to help yourself go through it. A big tip that I have is making Genshin my side game as opposed to a main game. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.